Good morning, everybody. I'm Laura. I haven't put a video out in a few days because the last video I was working on was this one. And as you can see, it's not quite finished because while I was doing the video, I kept getting tornado warnings on this phone, which I turned the warnings off. And now I can't find where I turned them off at. I've gone through my phone and it totally destroyed the video. I tried to salvage it and I couldn't, so I'll just have to make another one. It'll look different than this one. I don't have this one quite finished, but I'll finish it up. I'm going to just put it in the drawer. I've got my little dish. I'm going to actually put the dish in the drawer so I don't lose it. And I'll redo it. So today's video, I know a lot of you have Stanley cups. I don't, but this one is Pioneer Woman. I've had it for a long time. It was one of the first one of these cups that I've gotten. But I have these here. They came from Amazon. I got them from Tina, a package of 2, a gray one and a pink one. And I love this because if I'm going someplace and I don't want to lose my good cup, I'll use my Pioneer Woman. I'm sorry. So I'll use this cup, but if I'm going to be just out and about and I don't have to worry about if somebody's going to walk off with my cup, I can take this off and put it on any cup that I have. So we're going to make some Stanley or Stan-lish cup charms. And so I'm just going to leave my cup there. Now, these have the little hooks already on them. But when I make the cup charms, I'll make them so they have hooks. So it's going to be very simple. We're going to need some of the little those. And I believe I'm going to need some of these. I may as well get them out. I don't know how many I'm going to need. I'll get 4 out so we have them ready. Crimp beads. And we're going to come back to the May box because we're going to need a little bit of everything. This is my May picks. We're going to use a little bit of those because I want to make one with this rose. And we're going to use that. And then I'm going to get, I don't know how many we're going to make in this video, but we're going to get the June bargain bead box out. And I want to make, I don't know if I'm going to want 1 fish or 2 fish. We're going to red fish, blue fish. Oh, I'll shut up now. And I'm making for me, I'm naming mine Olivia. It's going to be a little girl. So we're making her. There's going to be a fish one, a rose, and I think with Olivia, we're going to make with some of the Hishis. With the rose, I'm thinking of using maybe a couple of those. I don't know. I don't like the copper. Yeah. You don't want them to be too long as a cup charm. Maybe these with the fish, some of those. No. So these here are the 6x4 crystal faceted rondelle beads. And I don't know, I might want a couple of those. And I might want to use some of those with the Olivia. And let's see what else I can grab out of here. This is my June Laura's picks. Let's make some with cats. And I don't know, we might want a couple of those. You know what? These might work better. We'll just get them out. And I know I want to make a butterfly one. We're going to want these. This is already open. And let's get these flower spacers out. 2, 3. Do I have some left in the other box? I believe I do. Yes. So let me go ahead and get some out of the other box. I know for right now you can't really see what I've set aside. I'll get them here in a second. I've got those, and then I have these, and then I have all my jump rings and things in here. So we'll start putting these together, and as I need more things, I will bring them in. So I've got my cat watermelon beads. I think I'm going to use these with it. I've got my butterfly focal. I want to use these. I have some gold beads. I have more gold spacer beads off to the side. I have Olivia, and I have the what were they? Sodalite rondelles. And I have my rose, and I'm using the moonstone, and what were they called? Those are peach moonstone, and oh goodness, find everything here. Those are sodalite. I don't remember where they came from. Anyways, we'll just go with it. And of course, I have the fish and those, and then I have these also. So we will just start. I'm going to start by making the cat. And like I said, I'll probably need a lot more. We're going to open these kitty cats. These came from Cherry Tree Beads. So I'm going to need more than 2. I think we'll go with 3 cats, because some are, you know, one color on one side, one color on the other. I think I'm going to want, oh, you know, they don't look so good with that in between them. So we'll set them aside and find something else to put between them. What else have I got to put between the kitty cat heads? We can definitely do some of these spacers, and maybe, I think the blue is too dark. How about the red? Maybe we will vary it with a red and a blue. How's that? I think that'll be great. Like I said, you don't want them to be too awful long. And let me see, I want to put something on the bottom. Well, maybe not. I think we'll be okay. Let's go with this. So we're going to do like that. I think that'll be good. Let's go with it. So we're going to use probably this, and I'll get a good length of it. And of course, you're going to want some enough to make a loop with. So I'm going to cut off that length, plus we are going to make a loop at the top that's going to come back because we need to be able to clasp. So let me cut off a good long length. Get that up here. Wind my seven strand wire back around, and let's see how big of a hole that is. Okay, we are going to want, I think we're going to want to put one of those. These are 2mm or maybe no, 4mm my mind is not working, guys. 4mm bead or flower bead cap. And we're going to put it on the very end of this, and then we're going to use a 11/0 seed bead, and then I am going to start this by simply taking a get a hold of it here. Goodness, bead, now I can't think of the words, guys. Crimped bead. We're going to flatten it right down on that wire, and I will always make sure that my crimp bead, when I flatten it, there is no space around the wire. And I'm going to give it a tug test. I'm going to trim this back so there's only a tiny bit of wire sticking out. Okay. I'm picking up the seed bead and bringing it down. This way, that seed bead kind of ties in that little piece of crimp bead. I'm putting on my spacer bead. These came from Beadbox Bargains. I'm going to put on my bead cap. Actually, I was going to put my bead cap on my spacer bead, wasn't I? So that it sat nicely. Let's put my bead cap on where I wanted it. It'll help keep that spacer bead sitting more level with the seed bead. Let's see how that looks. It's going to sit more level when I get everything together. We're going to pick up a kitty cat, a spacer, a red check glass flower, a kitty cat, a blue check glass flower. Come on. A spacer, a kitty cat, and a spacer. So I don't want my dangles to be real long on my cups. They don't have to be, but that looks so cute. I really like how it turned out. So here I'm going to go ahead and I'm debating on how to do this. I know I need to still make my loop. So I need a because this loop is, I made one before and I don't know what I did with it. So it's going to go around my handle. You got to make sure you make your loop big enough to go around your handle. That's going to be all seed beads. And my clip is going to clip into a, yeah, okay. So what I think I will do, let me go get my other one. Okay, so the one I made for my other cup was a round charm. And I'll tell you, these cheaper charms like this, when you get them wet, because I didn't take it off my cup, they will tarnish. That's how I did that one. So I'm actually going to fasten this. So I'm going to go ahead and put a I'm opening my clamshell. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to get my handle back there. Whoops, I spilled out a whole mess of them. I didn't need that many. I want one at a time. Just like that. My crimp bead, dropping it down into my mouth of my clamshell. And I don't need to push down tight on this. I do want it to wiggle. So I just want it to be snug. Crimp it down. I'm going to crimp all the way across. And again, I'm going to make sure that I have it. Doo-doo-doo. And it's tight. So we're going to go ahead and give that a clip. And I have plenty to make another one with. I'm going to close this, give it a snug, and then tighten. And then I'm going to take, I think with this one we'll just use 11/0s to go around the handle. And we can do a mixture of 11/0s and beads. But for this video, we'll just do 11/0s. I am going to I'm trying to think how this is going to clasp on. I'm going to put my clasp on one end, but I want to crimp You're watching me figure this out as I go because I'm making this much different than the other. So I want to make a loop about so big to go around the Stanley handle because I know some of them are pretty big. And I'm going to have a loop that will be permanently attached here. And then, so I do want to make a I want to make a loop because I am going to put a jump ring on this. So I want to make a loop for a jump ring to go through. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to come back through that crimp bead. I'm going to make this very small here. Try not to crush that. That's big enough for a jump ring. They are not crossed, so I'm going to go ahead and crush this. I'm going to go just like that. I'm going to give it a tug test. Tug test both ways. I'm actually going to put a pin in there so I can hold it, and I'm going to pull. It's not tight. Well, I don't know. Did it just straighten out or did it actually pull? Nope, it's tight. Okay. I'm going to trim this, and I think I'll put a flower bead right here. Where's my little ones? I think I'm going to put a small flower bead. Just like so. Right over top of that. That helps disguise the crimp bead. And then we're just going to do, whoops, I don't want those. We'll get them out of the way. Seed beads. 1, 2, this mat I have down is really difficult to utilize because my wire gets stuck in it all the time. And then when I go to pull back, it my bead comes off. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to make just a short video, but I have several that I want to make with you. And I won't do the whole process with each one. We'll just put together the next ones, and then I'll show you how they all look at the end. So we want to go quite a ways yet. I'm not really counting them. I'll kind of give you a count here at the end. Still needs to be quite a bit bigger. So I watched the Lori Daybell trial in Arizona. This is her second trial in Arizona. This is the one for conspiracy to commit murder on Brandon Boudreaux. And the jury did not take long to come back with their verdict. It was quite quick, which all the facts were laid out towards the end. Everything came together, and you know, the jury was not allowed to know any of her past trials, any of her past convictions. None of that was allowed. So they were blind going in as to what was, what she'd already done, because she was convicted of the murders of her two children, JJ and Tylee. She was convicted of the murder of Tammy Daybell. And she had just recently been convicted in the murder of her then husband, Charles Daybell. So, she has not been sentenced with Charles's murder yet. The sentencing for both of these two trials will be the same day in July. So, she didn't want to have to be there for the impact statements or any of the other things that they are doing. She wanted that to be not done, but the courts were like, nope, you're going to. So I have on 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I have on exactly 55. I expected there to be an odd number. So there's 55 on there. I am going to go ahead and use one more. Yeah, I think I'll do it with a clamshell because I want a good closure and attachment for my ring, my clamshell or lobster clasp to hook onto. So again, we're going to put on a clamshell, open it up again, and we're going to do just like we did before, but this one I want to be able to bring it around. So I'm going to hold it in my hand, get it all up there. Well, let's just put a pair of pliers against it, just like that. And reach in there. I know it's difficult for you guys to see what I'm doing. I was going to order a new canopy with sides through Amazon, and I gotta tell you, it wasn't all that expensive, but they did not have a shipping date. And I acted like I was going to order it, and I looked down at the shipping, and it said that they would contact you within 3 to 5 days after you pay for it to let you know when it was going to be shipped. Not what day you were going to expect it, but when they were going to ship it. I was like, no. Even though this is supposed to be shipped from Amazon. So I've gone ahead, clip the extra off after I made sure it was on there tight. We're going to do that. So we need a tiny jump ring and a tiny jump ring and a big jump ring. So let me get my jump rings out. We're going to put him back over there. So, you know, it is what it is. And then I want my bigger jump ring. And this is where it all comes together, guys. We're going to take my bent nose and my flat pliers. We're going to put the tiny jump ring when I find my little opening, which is right there. These are actually 18 karat gold plated. They're from Bargain Bead Box. And we're going to put it right through here. Just like that. So we have fastened the end that has just the colored wire. And you want to make sure this is on there good, because I want this to be closed all the way, and it's not. You can see there's a gap right there, and that wire would come through there. All right, now let's look. There it is. Wire is not coming out. Yay! Now we're going to take another tiny jump ring. And sometimes it helps if you close your jump ring first, like that, and then reopen it. We're going to put our lobster on and then close it. Just like so. Again, we're going to double check that, make sure it's all the way shut. Now we're going to add the large jump ring down at the bottom for that lobster to clasp into. There we are. This is a 6mm. Make sure it's closed all the way. There we are. And now we can, let me get my cup over here, get my handle out, and you simply wrap it around your handle, like Stanley handles. Some of them I've looked at are really quite large. That little thing is not, I don't know, I might get a better, the ones that aren't 18 karat gold out. I think they're like a stronger. And we're going to do that. So there is the kitty cat one. Some of the Stanley handles are really big. This isn't a real wide handle, but there is one handle. I'm going to leave it right on that cup. Let me clear away the kitty cat one and I'll be right with you. Okay, so let's work on the rose. I did pull out a couple other flowers because I kind of thought just the rose alone may not look so pretty. I kind of like these flowers with it. Again, you don't want it overly long. And maybe just put these spacers with it. I think it'll be pretty just like that. Don't need a whole lot of hoopla. And I think I'm just going to use round spacers on the end. So these are like 3.5mm spacers, and I think that's all it needs. And I will get a couple more out to use on the hoop part of it. And let's see what else we can do. Oh, you know what? I think I have kind of a pretty color here that maybe we'll use these. For the handle. How's that? I think that'd be pretty. All right, let's go ahead and I might bring in some gold, along with it. So let's go ahead and put this together. I'm going to start with, again, make sure this piece is long enough. No sense in wasting it. It is. We're going to put a crimp bead on the very end. Bring it up here. I would rather cut it myself than try to get it to the very end. I'm going to clip that down. Give it a tug test. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the very bottom. These are so cute. They go right through here. And then I will find the gold flower, the rose, gold flower, this red check glass flower. I think just kind of ties everything in. Just finding the hole in it. I think that's lovely. Put a gold bead at the top, spacer bead. And let's go ahead and close that off with, again, a clamshell. Just like we did before, we're going to do the same thing. I am going to show you, however, how I'm going to do the part that goes around the handle, because it will be different. Get some of these out because we're going to use them, but I will keep them separate. Get our crimp bead down in there and crimp him. And it's on her tight. Let's go ahead and trim that. I don't think that piece is long enough to make a handle. Yeah, barely. Let's go for it. So we're going to start by putting a loop . We'll see here in a minute when I start this part. Oh, please. Be nice. It'll be smaller, but when you add the clamshell and everything, I think it'll be fine. We're going to go for it. Make sure we get in the middle there. Make sure it's on her tight. Nobody's going to be pulling that hard on this, honestly. Okay, so that's on there tight, and I think what I'll do is we're going to put one of these beads and get it to turn over where I want it, right over top of this right here, if I can get it on there. Cool beans. And now we're going to clip that off. And we're going to open this up and we're going to use these. I think they'll look lovely. And it's not going to be just those. We are going to add some seed beads in along with it. So we're going to get some seed beads out here. And I'm going to put 1, 2, get a hold of it, 3, and I'll just put on some seed beads. I'll go with 5 seed beads and then put on 3 more of these. These little beads are hard to see. There we go. And 5 more. You see it and then you like, you know, move it just a hair and it completely disappears on you. 3. I think 3 more will be perfect. And then our gold bead. Ooh, this is going to be cutting it short. We're going to put our clamshell. Oops. I really don't know which one of those is. That's not. Well, I'll figure it out later. There we go. We have our crimp bead. We're going to reach in there and crimp that. Once we get it so we can get a hold of it, we can pick it up. We did not have much left in a line of wire. That was really, really close. Let's give it a tug test. It's on there tight. Look at that, guys. That's all that's left out of that piece of wire that I cut off. One little bitty sliver. Close it. And I will go ahead and put this one together mainly because we did this one a little different. But it's the same basic thing, just that this one has beads on it. And one of these is, there it is. There we go. Let's go ahead and put this one together just because. So I need to get them. Okay, what did I do with that tray? We are going to use the ones that are not gold. I think I was out of the little ones. Okay, seriously, what did I just do with it? I had the tray. Oh, I set another tray on top of it. Good grief. I need 2 of those. And then after this, we're just going to put this part together and not worry about the rest of it until the very end when I show you what I've done. So let's go ahead and get this together. Whoop, that wouldn't have been good. So again, we're going to put this piece on. We're going to fasten it to this and close it. Make sure that we get this closed really, really well. I want to get close enough where I could see that. I'm going to bring my wire up. Yep, wire's not going through it. I'm going to go ahead and put my big one on while I've got it right in my hand. Right onto, not the jump ring, but onto the if I can. Maybe that's why I did the jump ring the last time. I don't think both of them will go through. Yeah, they won't. So we're going to put it through the jump ring. I was like, why did I put it through the jump ring the last time? And this is why. What I could have done is put this on first and then put this through the jump ring. Do and double check that. It is not closed properly. There we go. Let's put the other end on and close it up. And I'll show you what this one looks like. And then we will just put together the dangles. And there's that one. Oh, that is really cute. I like it. Okay, so number 2 is down. Let's go ahead and do the fish. Thinking about putting fish up, fish down. And I brought these out because I thought, And then, of course, we have these beads, which I think will add sparkle. Let's find the end. I hate wire, but they're on wire, so yeah. I'm going to clip one end. I'm going to get some sparklies. And then some gold. Probably just the seed beads between them. So let's get the seed beads out because I don't want to add too much big because they are already quite spacious. So let's go ahead and like that. And then like gold seed beads everywhere. Let's do that. I need some more wire. I was thinking I had a big old piece laying here that needed to be used up. Ta-da! Alright. Again, we need to clip off our end. Like so. Let's go ahead and get our end done. Ooh, I don't like that. Will that come off? No, I'm going to cut it. I don't want it crooked because I'm making these to sell. We're going to redo that. I forgot to trim my other one. We'll go back and trim it right now before I forget. Or I will forget to trim it. Let's get that done. And we'll trim this back. I want to trim this one back. There we go. And I do want to use some bigger beads at the very end. So let's get them out. May as well get out some. We'll be using them. So I want a big spacer bead. Ooh, gonna be trouble finding the hole on those. They're nice and shiny. These were in the June bargain bead box. And let's see how we like this. I may get it together and not like it. We will find out. The only way we're going to know is to put it together. I don't know, I think it's too much blue. Too much all the same color blue. I'm looking to see what else I've got, guys. Yeah, a little pop of yellow. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm not sure how many I'll need, so I'll get out 4. I think that'll be lovely. Let's back them back off right about there. let's see. Maybe I want to do a blue after all on the very end. A gold. One of the yellow crystals. A gold. A fish. Oh, that is much better. The fish now stands out. One of those. I think we'll just go ahead and put this on. And then another one of these. Come on. Little 11 O's. Fish going up. I like that. An 11O seed bead. A gold crystal, if I can get a hold of one that's not going to roll away from me. Seed bead. A blue. One of the bigger 3mm spacer beads. I really like how that turned out. Let's go ahead and close him off. We're going to be burning through these today, that's for sure. And let's open it up. Once I get this closed off, we'll move on to the next one. And it looks like the butterfly is next. I also got out the dragonfly because I was going to put the dragonfly on with, again, we're not going to make this super tight. We're just going to close him off so that he still has movement. I thought about putting the dragonfly on with the roses and it didn't look quite pretty. It's on her tight. We're going to clip, close it up. And the little fishy one is ready. I like that. I'm glad I put the yellow beads in there. So the fish is done. Let's put these beads back out of the way. Put the yellow ones aside. Let's go ahead and do the dragonfly. He's right here. I think we'll do a flower. I don't know. I may not get him to look right. I just kind of pulled him out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let's go ahead and do the butterfly. Definitely using these crystals on the butterfly. And the lemon. And I think the flowers. Nope, let's put the lemon between the dragonfly and that, like that. I like it. We're going to go with it. And we're going to put a 3mm on each end. Let's put the butterfly together. Do I have enough? I have more than enough. Let's go ahead and pick up a crimp bead. Close it off. Olivia is mine. And if you're wondering about the polymer clay, Alan doesn't want me to use his little ovens. So I'm still going to. he doesn't understand that it's just that you can't cook food with them. Anyways, so I may have to get myself my own little, you know, I'm going to look at yard sales to get my own oven to bring out here to do it in. So, I find that wasteful, but that's beside the point. I like that. So let's go ahead. I think flower point down. I don't think I'm going to use seed beads between them. I kind of like the way that looks. Except for maybe up here by the butterfly. I will use a seed bead here. Just to help keep that bead away from the butterfly. I like how this one's turning out. And there's the butterfly one. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put this on, and I need to get out more crimp beads. And then we'll work with Olivia. I had out way too many beads. I didn't need them all. I can't even remember what I got these out for. I think the rose. I really do. Get that down in there. Give it a tug test. Clip that off. So how many people, I know Lisa follows true crime genre. How many others follow true crime, and what podcasts do you watch? I like Crime Weekly. I follow Hidden True Crime. Those are pretty much my main ones. I don't follow too many because a lot of them like don't get their facts right before they come on, which bother me. They're in such a hurry to be the first to get the story out, if you know what I mean. That they're not, this one's got more whites on this side, closer to the knot, so we're going to cut there. You know, I understand they want to be first, but you know, if you're not getting your, waiting to get all the facts, it kind of, you know, defeats the purpose to me. I want you to get the facts. I would rather wait and have a podcaster to be able to bring the facts. So, okay, so I paused it while I was coughing. Let's get out. I'm going to need more of those bigger beads. And I think I want more of those yellow ones for Olivia. Those bright crystals. I think they would look lovely. couple though. I don't want too many. And like I said, Olivia is mine. And I think I may want a couple of bellflowers. And I do want I think so they're ugly. They're so dark. Isn't that terrible? I just said they were ugly. Olivia is so bright and colorful, and the beads I've got are all like dark colored. I don't know. We'll see. I'll get one of those out and we will play with it and see what happens. Okay, let's put this together. So how do I want Olivia? I want her to have like some of these coming down. I want I thought it's gonna be too big. I think the only way we're gonna know is if we actually put this together. I want like gold on top of her, gold underneath her. Gosh, I don't know. Let's just start putting her together. I'm gonna need a big piece of wire for this one because we're gonna be playing. We're gonna be playing. All right, we're gonna put a crimp bead on the end. So while we were playing around figuring out how we want to do this, we don't lose our beads. It's on her straight. Make sure it's on there and not going anywhere. Give it a nice little trim. All right. I do know I want a gold ball on the end. I'm going to clean this up on this end. All right. And I think what I want to do, because I like the way that looks, is I want a blue. Let's see how a blue looks with these bellflowers. The bellflowers may not end up in this design after all, but we'll find out. If we don't like it, we'll take it back off. I don't like them with that blue, but you know, we can bring in more of those gold ones. Oops, that's not the smart spots. Let's get some more of these gold ones. I really like them. They brighten it up. Let's put a gold one on, then a bellflower. You hear it raining? I like that. Now let's put a gold bead like that. I want to put some of these sodalite heishis on here. Like so. Another gold spacer. Another yellow crystal. Gold spacer. Olivia. Let's see how this looks. I kind of like it. Let's put a gold. A yellow crystal. I'm going to need more gold spacers. Gold spacer. 3 of the heishis. Ah, see what I mean? I was trying to get my wire out of the material. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and use some of these. Like one. I like it. Now I know this may not be other people's cup of tea, but this is for my cups. So we're going to go with that. I do need to get some more of the you know what? Instead of a plain spacer, I'm going to put this last flower up here. Just like that. And I'm going to close it off with this. Put my crimp on. I am going to hold it up and make sure I like it with the flower on it. I don't know, that flower is too much. Too much, too much, too much. Let's go ahead and go with a spacer. I do have those decorative ones. And that may be what it needs, but I think I'll stick with the round ones for right now. Okay. Round spacer. Get on there. And then back to what I was doing. Closing her up. Let's make sure I like Olivia. I like it. Let's go ahead. Put my crimp bead back in there. And let's close Olivia up. And then I will pause you guys. And I will make all the handle parts and put them together and bring you back when I'm done. Let me check that. It's on there tight. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Trim this off and close it up. So there's my Olivia. She's ready to go. All right, I'll bring you guys right back. Okay, so I'm back and I have finished them all so that you can see them. Here is the flower one. I did add beads to it all the way up. It is so pretty. I like the way it turned out. And then here is the one with the fish. It does have a longer, here I got a little carried away, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. But there are the fishies, and I like how it turned out. With the blues and the yellows. Really pretty, very subtle. And the kitty cat one you watched me make. And then here is the butterfly one. I love the way the part that goes on your cup turned out. It is so pretty. Very much spring, summer vibes. I love this. And then Olivia. I love this. None of my cups have big handles. None of them have handles except for one. And that's the one I'm going to use anyways for display. So this will be on my regular cups. So it doesn't need a really big loop to go on my handle. But I love the way Olivia turned out. I can't wait to put her on my cups. I like it. Very pretty. And I want to thank everybody for watching. I know it was a longer video. I planned on just making one or two and that was it. But, you know, things happen. And then, of course, you know, I do have my butterfly purse charm that I need to get out of my purse. So I'm going to put it right here. So I remember to put it on my purse because these two are going inside. Thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I will talk to all of you guys down in the comments below. Bye, everybody.